All right. Well, hey, Coaches Up for Change. It's Dee Corchin. I'm glad to be with you this Monday. It is June 27th. I did a Facebook Live today and realized I messed up all the dates in the Facebook Live, but today is Monday. It is June 27th. And I'm glad you are here with us. We come together on Monday nights as a team to learn together, to be here in community, and to grow together to be our best for ourselves and really to be able to serve other people. And I did a great Facebook Live today, not toot my own horn, I just mean covering a bunch of great items, such as, I don't know if you guys realize, we have 108 people that are doing the Coaches Crushing It challenge together, 108 of us. So that is really impressive. Just each of us leveling up to be our best in our physical health and our daily activities to help more people. And so you should have gotten an email from Meg today. If you are participating, we've got a Google form for you to submit your results. And we want you to do that by the end of the day, Wednesday, because we've got some incredible prizes to give out to you guys. And of course, the biggest win is going to be for you and your health and be in service to more people. So before we go any further, we like to, in a given month, recognize our new leaders that qualified the month before. So we have one more that hasn't shared yet. And I'm excited because I've been seeing Lauren creeping up in the back office, watching her numbers in a really short amount of time. And look at that. She's doing that with a beautiful baby on her lap. So Lauren Grove, we would like to hear from you. You qualified as an executive director for the first time in May.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Hi, everyone that I haven't chatted with or been on a call with. This is one of my children, James. He's 15, he's 8 months, and his sister is about to be 2. So I have my hands full. But I did reach the executive director rank in May, as Dee said. And I told Meredith, who is my actually my coach's coach, that saying hi to that I was going to hit it. I said, I'm going to hit this month, and I made it a point to do it. So we started with Optavia. It was just a year ago in January, and my husband and I both started it. We just needed a change. And he about 5 weeks into the program, I found out I was pregnant with this little guy. And so for anyone who's been pregnant, you're not really focused on the healthy side of things. A lot of times you have to go after those cravings, but he kept with it, and in 6 months he lost 113 pounds. So he was he's kind of, like we say, he's the poster child of Optavia and the success that people can have. And from that, he just started, he has a very job focused on manual labor with the electric company. And people would just ask him, what have you been doing? What have you been doing? And he is not very good at communicating. He's like, oh, I just had 5 fuelings a day, no big deal. And then I had a lean and green. And I'm like, people don't understand what you're saying. So so Meredith approached us about sharing our success and getting into coaching. And so we did that starting in August. And then when I started on the Nursing Moms plan back in December. And so we've kind of been on the kick since then. But we were, I guess, once we started to pick up with the business, I'd say in January this year, once we hit the year mark, and everyone could see that the program works and you can actually keep the weight off. It's not just a one-time, one time you're going to lose it and then you're going to gain it all back, like a lot of the fad diets. And so we really got our group of friends on board and really got everyone on a health kick, basically. And so we worked through it, and we built up our base, and I actually hit executive director on volume only. I have no coaches in my group, in my team. And so it's super hard to keep that hard to keep the executive director because people are starting to phase out and go into transition. So I'm actually leaving my full-time job. Friday's my last day, and I will be able to focus more on growing my business. And so that's what I'm most excited about. And so June's going to be a challenge, but we're ready to go in July, and we'll be executive director again.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing, Lauren. I mean, huge, huge physical changes, but look at the freedom it's given you to be able to leave a full-time job. And that's just, really at this point, it's just your next opportunity area. You obviously learn, you have influence, you're able to grow. So you'll be able to grow in the area of coaches as well. So, and it'll be a gift for them because it's going to allow them some freedoms in their life as well. So yay, congrats. I'm so glad you could be on. All right, so we're going to move on. I just wanted to remind you, if you did not watch last week's call, we did the 5 common pitfalls of coaching. We got so much positive feedback from it. If you didn't see it, really encourage you to watch it. And then what we decided to do this week was to take it a step further, because a lot of times we start off with big goals, or for our coaching business or our clients, they start with goals, and then somewhere along the way, the water can get a little muddy and get a little murky. And we need to be reawakened and inspired. So no better to lead this for us is Integrated National Director Lori Cole. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you, Lori.
Hey, thank you so much. And boy, is Dee correct in saying that, because I have gone through some tough seasons in 6.5 years. Hey, you guys, if you have ever felt stuck or needed to be re-inspired, I want you to go to the chat right now and put a 1. Wow. Me too. And so when Dee and I were chatting about what we could talk about and teach about tonight, I just really wanted to speak to you guys from experience. And so I've got a couple of coaches that I know really well, and I'm going to ask them some questions, but I want to share first one of my stuck times. And when my son got married, I pumped the brakes in my business. And, they say if you pump the brakes in your business, then you are going to see that for about 3 months. And I did. I did not have one health assessment for about 3 months. I kept posting. I was so frustrated. And I touched base with Dee frequently because I needed her to talk to me and to tell me why to keep going. And then all of a sudden it broke loose and my business started growing exponentially. So tonight, whether you are struggling with inspiration personally, or whether you are struggling with your coaching business, I hope that you're going to glean something from us sharing our stories, because, they always say the only way we fail is if we quit, right? So I just encourage you to find a nugget and hang on to it. Share it with your coach tonight. So tonight, Kim and Whitney, I'm going to bounce back and forth with these girls, and they are going to answer some questions for you. And then we're going to just kind of see what your thoughts and takeaways are. So Kim, I'm going to start with you first. I want you to briefly describe a time that you needed to be re-inspired.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, I'm just going to give you a quick snippet. I started this journey on June 15th of 2020 and lost 110 pounds, and set a goal for myself last fall in October to participate in an event where I had to run 24 miles in 24 hours. So every hour I ran 1 mile. And that was one of my goals, right? To make it there and run every one of those miles. And it was raising money for a program that was granting wishes to sick children. I did it, and it was amazing. And I left that event on the top. I was literally on the top of my game. Like, there was nothing I couldn't accomplish. I felt in my mind, I was after it all. And then I got COVID just before Christmas, and wow. That really knocked me backwards. I've been dealing with some long haulers effects from COVID. I took my eye off the target. I was feeling very depressed and down and disappointed. I couldn't get out. I couldn't exercise. I couldn't do the things that I wanted to. I was put on medications, steroids, 3 rounds of them. I gained 15 pounds back. I was really in a negative place. And the last thing I wanted to do was be a health coach. How could I be a health coach when I was dealing and struggling with some of the things that I was dealing with? The other piece is I even tried to put positive things on Facebook. There's always one person that puts those negative comments. They're just like those negative trolls that, will put comments. One person had put a comment on one of my posts. Oh, I just hope you can keep it off. Right. Which then I was already in a bad place and backing down from my business. I do work a full-time job. So when I get crazy busy there, I also retreat from my Optavia coaching business, which is not the right thing to do. I'm going to make one comment, Lori, and then I'll turn it back to you. But I don't know if you've read any of the Jen Sincero books, but I'm in the middle of You Are a Badass at Making Money. And she says, the very funny cosmic joke in her eyes is that in an attempt to protect ourselves from pain, we perpetuate the behaviors that create the very pain we're trying to avoid. Right. So when we retreat from our businesses, it's just causing more pain and more challenges for us. So, I know I want to grow my business. I need to invest my time, energy to make it happen. So, that's for me a time when I really needed to be inspired. And I'll talk, I think, a little bit about what got me out of there. So.
Absolutely. We're not leaving you guys there. Don't worry. But I wanted these girls to share their story first, and then we're going to come along with some steps to help get us all re-inspired. Hey, Whitney, will you please come off mute for just a second? And same question, briefly describe a time when you needed to be re-inspired.
Yeah, thanks, Lori. So I've been around, started Optavia 2018, I believe it was, started coaching about 3 months after, lost 64 pounds in 9 months, did really well. And about a year and a half ago, I tanked. I didn't it bumped a little, I tanked. I'm an aerobic instructor as well as health coaching, working, full-time mom, all that stuff. And my knee had a meniscus tear. And I spent almost a full year not being able to move. And then when we found out what it was, I had surgery, and I don't know what was wrong with me, but I honestly thought, oh, it's fine. It won't hurt. Honestly, I was surprised when I woke up from surgery and it hurt, because everybody said, oh, it's a minor surgery. It's no big deal. You'll bounce back quickly. But I didn't bounce back as quickly as I should have in my mind. And in doing so, I took a nosedive. About 4 months later, when I was finishing PT for my right knee, my left knee started doing the exact same thing. So I had 2 more surgeries, one on my foot, one on my knee, both on my left at the same time. And I really struggled with who I was over that year, putting weight back on, not being able to be an instructor, not being able to feel strong like I always thought I was, and trying to figure out what was wrong with me in not being able to do that on my own quickly and easily. So not in that space anymore, thankfully, but not long out of it, and took a lot of work to get out of it. So.
Thank you so much, Whitney. I love both of their stories because they had adversity and they had challenges. And the thing that I want to encourage you is you're going to go through a season where you need re-inspiration. Is that a word? I don't even know. You need to feel unstuck. And so now we're going to talk about some steps. So if you don't have a pen and paper, you guys, these girls are going to bring some stuff to you. So their next question is, I want you to tell about 3 action steps, because we know that once we start getting into action, we get unstuck. So these girls are going to share 3 action steps that they did to get themselves re-inspired and unstuck, and describe those. Kim, you can go first there.
Okay. So first I would tell you, connect with other coaches. Find your tribe in this coaching family. They get exactly what you're going through. The best way to do this, attend things like convention. I'm going to tell you, if I hadn't attended Grow Global in April, I'm going to get emotional. I don't think I would still be doing this. I literally think it completely changed my perspective. So connect with other coaches. I just can't even tell you, I just love this group of people so much. And we're all so different, but we're all the same. And our challenges are so very similar. My next one is invest in yourself. Try to commit to doing something bigger on your health journey. Create a self-development plan, start reading, right? Set your goals and live them out loud. That investment in yourself by doing some of those things makes such a huge difference. And then finally, I think look back at what you've already accomplished. Reevaluate that why that put you on this journey in the first place, right? Look at the weight loss that you've had. Look at your personal financial situation. Have you been able to turn that around because of what you're doing with coaching? And I know she only asked for 3, but my 4th one is just start, right? Sometimes you don't feel like doing that workout, but inspiration comes from doing. So just taking that first step makes such a difference.
That's so good. And you guys, I don't know about you, but she could have given me 7 more and I would have taken them all, right? Thanks so much, Kim. Hey, Whitney, same question for you. Name and describe 3 action steps for getting re-inspired.
Yeah, sorry for I don't know if y'all can hear the disaster that is my boy's bath time behind me. Sorry about that. Just barreling down the stairs. So my first is talk to your coach. Lori is my coach and one of my dear friends. And I had a mentorship call with her that I honestly didn't want to keep, didn't want to take, didn't want to do. And that call changed. I finally threw my hands up. I said, Lori, I don't know. I know what I need to do. I'm just lazy. And she set me straight because thankfully I was told from other people I'm not lazy, but my mindset, I had barreled down to everything that was wrong with me because I knew what to do and I wasn't doing it and it wasn't working and I had just given up. And so I connected with Lori and she helped me work through some emotions and things and guide me into, okay, well, what's the small thing we can do? Let's start here. Let's do this. We made a plan. The second thing that has completely just escaped my mind because my child and my dog are messing around behind me. It's gone. So the third thing, the second thing, I got it. Okay. Second thing is write things down. No, the second thing is to think of when you were I'm not really a go back to my why kind of person because honestly, it was easy to me. It was, okay, we're done. Let's move on. But find that time when you were most happy with yourself and most confident in your own skin. I was very fortunate for that time to have happened in the month of June. And Facebook Memories showed it to me about 3 days in a row. It was one of the first coaching breakfasts I had ever been to. And I hit my official final weight loss goal that day. And there are pictures of me all over Facebook from that day. So my memories kept showing it to me. And I can feel how I felt that morning and looking at those photos. So there really is power. We talk about write things down, putting it in front of you. The way your brain works, there is power in seeing that. Find that picture, print it, put it in front of you so that it's there. So you feel that feeling, even if you don't really feel that way right now. And the third thing, I tried to come up with better wording and I decided there just wasn't better wording. So I'm going to go with it, Lori. Be stubborn. Be stubborn. It's okay to say no. It's okay to stick to your course. You don't have to answer to other people. You don't have to answer to, I'm at this gathering and there's this drink or there's this cake. Yeah, it takes discipline, but do it. Just be stubborn for yourself because you need to. And if you do that, the people that are beside you to respect it will do so. And the people that don't maybe need to be a little bit further away in arm's length anyway. It's not really the easiest thing to say or do or hear, but it's really important. And it was a big, big shift for me in changing the mental habits and the physical habits in the last 6 weeks.
That's so good. Isn't that good? So we're going to be stubborn, you guys, in a good way.
In a good way.
In a good way. Hey, I read this quote and it just so struck me as what we're talking about tonight. What you believe determines how you live. So I think sometimes it comes down to what we're believing. What stories are we telling ourselves? And you've heard both of those girls talk about that, what stories they're telling themselves about their health and about what's going to happen. And when I think about Kim, how easy it would be to say, I've got this condition now, and now it's too hard, and now these medications are causing this. And not that they weren't, but she dug in there. And I think that's the key to being re-inspired in our own health and also in our business. What are we believing and how are we living? And those things will bring about the change. So the last question I'm going to ask them to share is, everybody here is either struggling, has struggled, or is going to struggle, right? Isn't that life? You're going through a struggle, you're going into a struggle, or you're coming out of one. So Kim and Whitney, I want you to give one piece of advice to our community about what if they're struggling with their health, or what if they're struggling with their business, or both. So give us your best there.
So I'd say, if you're struggling with your health, lean into your coach. Whitney really hit it on the head there. It's like, lean into your coach. If you're struggling with your business, lean into your coach. That really is, it is critical. I will tell you, it wasn't until I heard Meg Johnson on this call talk about how she was ready to quit that a light bulb went off in my head. I mean, it like hit me like a ton of bricks, right? That, wait a minute, this is just a phase, right? It's just a phase we're all going through, whether it's our health or our business. There's ups and there's downs, and our coach is there to support us. I love this quote. Sometimes when you're in a dark place, you think you've been buried, but you've actually been planted. I try to think about that all the time. When I'm in a dark place, I'm not necessarily buried, but I've actually been planted.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kim. And Whitney, what you got?
I have two, and they each work for each, so it's not breaking the rules that I'm giving you two. So the first one is, don't do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. Don't. We're better when we're together. We're meant to do things together. So don't think you have to do everything alone. And the second, it's already been touched on, but don't quit. You don't fail until you quit. So just keep going. You have to go anyway, right? So you might as well go in the direction that you want to go instead of just bopping along and landing wherever you fall.
So good. Thank you so much, Whitney. So a couple of things I was thinking about when we were talking about this. I feel like I'm preaching to the choir because life is hard and you go through struggles. One of the things that I think that has helped me personally is starting to communicate with I always talk to my coach, but also I start talking to clients that maybe have slipped away. It's really easy with Text Whiz to send the text, and then when people don't sign up, you're like, well, they didn't sign up, so I guess they don't want my time. And what I have found in my own personal journey is they feel the way that maybe we felt when we were uninspired or struggling. There's some shame there, there's some heaviness there are personal struggles. And there are so many times that I've reached out to people that I haven't spoken with or have fallen off program or aren't booking time with me. And I'm like, I have you on my heart. And one of the best ways to come through a hard season for ourselves is to reach out and help other people. So I just encourage you not to use those Text Whiz and just be like, well, they're not booking, so that's the way it's going to be. But instead to just keep rekindling those relationships, because maybe they're not ready, maybe they're not, but when they're ready, they're going to remember that you were the one who never gave up on them. So that's one of my thoughts about that. The other thing is community. I can't stress enough. I have some weekly calls with coach friends who get me. I have an accountability text. I talk to my coach, and I'm 6.5 years down the road. This is not like you're going to reach that point where you don't need that anymore. It's the further you go, the more you need community, in my opinion. So I just encourage you, the Coaches Crushing It challenge that's going on right now is an excellent way for, if you can't do anything, do that one check mark for that day, do one step, do one thing. And, we always say the obstacle is the way. So in my opinion, the way to get through a hard time is just to go through it. And, one of the things I used to do is try to do all my Facebook posts like, oh, I'm so happy. And this is a great quote and all these things. And I tell you, the ones that I'm just like, I'm being vulnerable. I'm struggling. We just moved or whatever your thing is. And I tell you, those are the ones that really reach people because they really said, oh, you're not perfect. You're a person and you do have struggles. And sometimes you eat ice cream or whatever they think. But I think it's important for us to show our humanity. So in your Facebook post, I encourage you to lean into that vulnerability too and see that. Well, you guys in the comments, I would love for you to drop in your one takeaway from tonight. So let's blow it up and tell these girls what you've taken away from us tonight. Don't quit, don't give up, connect, be stubborn. Set a self-development plan. Don't do it alone. Leave a voice message rather than a message. Don't quit when you're struggling. So many. Lean into your mentor. I'm not buried. I'm getting ready to blossom. Do one thing. We're in this together. So good, you guys. That's right. So, I'm going to turn it back over to Dee, but I just want to encourage you, in thinking about community, our convention is coming up. It's a great place to meet people, to connect. So I just encourage you to reach out to your mentor coach. And I'm going to actually take it one step further. So what you took away tonight, I just encourage you to pop a text over to your coach and just say, hey, this is my takeaway, and this is where I need to grow and lean into tonight. So just take it one step further. Hey, Dee, thank you so much. We're a little bit shy, but I'm sure you have some announcements for us. But Kim and Whitney, thank you again. This was awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for sharing your stories. Thank you for sharing your action steps. And I think, it's something we all go through. So thanks for your vulnerability, because when you're in that space, it's really easy to think that you're alone. It's really easy to start thinking, well, I didn't really want that anyway, or whatever. And that, and changing your goals and all of the things, rationalization. But Lori, I loved your quote when you said, what you believe determines how you will live, right? So whatever story you're telling yourself is the reality of what's going to show up in your life. So really, really good. And honestly, as I'm sitting here thinking, these are the same kind of steps and actions to walk our clients through when they're stuck, right? At all of the things, right? And even, talk to your coach, be stubborn about your goals. What can you do? Get into action. What little thing can you do? Just helping your clients do that and walk through is going to make a tremendous difference for them. And I love, love, love. I think I'm reading a different book. It's around connection with people and building your business. But the one thing it's just reiterated so much is the power of connection and just having real, true, authentic conversations. It said, even if you just drop a text or drop an email to a former client, you're on my mind, those kinds of things. But people need us. And Lori, you're exactly right. If they don't sign up for a call, if you're doing your client support that way, don't take it as ooh, I've got an easy week. That's your opportunity to start and circle back with people and maybe dig a little deeper, because I know if my coaches aren't scheduling calls, I usually know that's usually a sign that we're hiding, right? That we don't want it. So convention is right around the corner. We're planning our team party. Be on the lookout for that. If you are scheduled to go, just encourage you to be there. You can still get on the wait list until June 30th. And if you are a newly activated coach, you can watch it for $50 off. So there's really not a reason not to be a part of this. And these events are where we get re-inspired, re-energized, and see it bigger. And we've got Awaken 2022. That's our executive director and above retreat just for our team. And this is our first qualification month. In fact, I've got the invitations ready to mail on Friday for those. And if you qualify in June or July as an executive director hire, you're going to qualify for the early bird pricing, which will allow you to go ahead and get in, get registered. If you have to fly here, go ahead and book your flights. But this is something you're going to definitely want to be a part of. And that takes place October 6th through the 8th of this year in the fall. So thank you again, you guys. We'll have this recording up in the group. If anybody from your team missed it, please tag them, encourage them to watch it, because they're probably stuck and didn't get on this call and could really use it. And then next week, can you believe it, is July 4th. So it's again a national holiday. So we will not have a team time call on Monday, July 4th. So just enjoy that time with your family. Just encourage you to finish this month strong. We've got 3 more solid days to help more people. And thank you again. We'll see you in the Facebook group, and have a great week and a great holiday next Monday night. Bye, you guys.